Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we are taking one final walk through the Shenango Valley Mall in Hermitage, Pennsylvania. During this mall's final few months of operation, it was pretty desolate. The closure of this mall was pretty much inevitable, considering that JCPenney was closing at the beginning of the year and there basically was nothing left inside. But nevertheless, I wanted to take the chance to document one of my favorite malls one last time before it closed. So throughout the last few months of operation, I made quite a few trips here documenting all the footage you see in this video. And even though I did show up on the mall's scheduled final day of operation to find the doors locked forever, I figured I would still share the footage I was able to collect over the mall's final few months of operation. So let's take one last walk through the Shenango Valley Mall and see what remained during its final few months of operation. Now, since it's our last time here, let's go over the history of Shenango Valley Mall one last time. In the 1960s, developer Crown American was looking to build a mall in the Sharon Pennsylvania region, long before Hermitage was even a thing. They decided to take over land that was previously a dairy farm owned by the McConnell family. The mall would be positioned right off of US 62 and Pennsylvania State Route 18, and construction would happen throughout 1967. Shenango Valley Mall would officially open on March 13, 1968, featuring Sears, JCPenney, and W.T. Grant as its original anchors. The mall would begin with great success and would become the new primary shopping destination for the Sharon, Pennsylvania region. The 1970s would see success continue for Shenango Valley Mall, as the mall would receive two expansions. The first one would be in 1974 when the Sears wing would be expanded, and in 1976, the iconic North Wing would open. Also in 1976, the city of Hermitage would officially be established, and the Shenango Valley Mall would be the heart of the growing town of Hermitage. (1976) would also see W.T. Grant close up shop, and the space would be converted into Youngstown, Ohio-based Strauss department store. And in 1986, Strauss would be acquired by Pittsburgh-based Kaufmann's. The rest of the 1980s and early 1990s would be pretty quiet, but still see success happen at Shenango Valley Mall. However, in 1997, Crown American would spend $3.5 million to renovate the interior of the mall, giving us the look you see today. This would also result in them sealing off the north wing of the mall, blocking it off with a newer storefront. Shenango Valley Mall would still see success entering into the 2000s, but in 2003, all of Crown American's portfolio would be acquired by Pennsylvania Real Estate Investment Trust, also known as PREIT, including Shenango Valley Mall. PREIT would own the mall for a year before selling it in 2004 to the Lightstone Group. In 2006 would see the merger of May and Federated department stores, and this would result in Kaufmann's being rebranded to Macy's. In January 2009, Shenango Valley Mall, along with 3 other malls, would enter into receivership, and Jones Lang LaSalle would take over management. And as we enter into the 2010s, things would begin to go downhill for Shenango Valley Mall, as 2017 would be a devastating year for the mall. As within less than 1 week apart from each other, Sears and Macy's would announce the closure of their Shenango Valley Mall locations. The 2 stores would actually close on the exact same day, on March 26, 2017. However, the Sears Auto Center would remain open for a little bit longer. Also around this time, a storm would damage the Firestone and Sears Auto Centers, but those would quickly be repaired and reopened. At this point, the mall's value would significantly drop due to the loss of Macy's and Sears, and this would result in owners at the time of the mall defaulting on their loan in February 2018. Iowa Square Realty would take over ownership of the mall in 2018 after winning it in a sheriff's sale. Sears Auto Center would officially close in October 2018, and in December that year, court hearings would happen over Iowa Square Realty not paying rent, taxes, or maintenance on the property. And since they would not pay a $25,000 bond to the court, this would result in ownership of the mall going to GFM 23 in January 2019. GFM 23 actually refers back to the McConnell family, the same family that originally owned the land that the mall sits on. LRC Realty would attempt to purchase the mall for redevelopment in 2019, but this would fail to happen as JCPenney refused to leave the property due to their lease agreement. In fact, JCPenney is the only reason why this mall even stayed open as long as it did. As we enter into the 2020s, it was shocking to see Shenango Valley Mall even reopen from the COVID lockdown, as it was a ghost town inside with barely anything left. Around this time, JCPenney and mall owners would end up in court, as the mall wanted JCPenney out so they could begin with redevelopment. As we finish up with the history, let's take one last walk through the iconic, forgotten vintage north wing of the mall. In August 2022, Butterfly Holdings LLC would acquire ownership of Shenango Valley Mall, and around this time, mall owners would actually win the court case, but JCPenney would try to appeal. This would result in another year in court, but this appeal would fail and the mall owners would win. In January 2024, JCPenney would officially announce the closure of their Shenango Valley Mall location, and shortly after that, it would be announced that Shenango Valley Mall would be permanently closing on May 31st, 2024 to prepare for redevelopment. JCPenney officially closed on May 5th, and the mall's final tenant, King's Jewelers, would leave the mall on May 28th, 2024, and May 28th would end up being the mall's official last day of operation, as they would lock the doors to the mall 3 days early. This would mark the end of an era for Shenango Valley Mall. Now, Shenango Valley Mall is a mall that really broke my heart. This mall is just a timeless classic. I mean, this hidden away, forgotten north wing of the mall alone was worth the trip out here for me every time. But not only that, just the whole vibe I got in this mall was always just pleasant and welcoming. It's not even just about this little hidden away north wing. It's about the fact that the people here were also super friendly. Sure, the remodeled main concourse of the mall wasn't that interesting, but like I said, if you wanted the vintage part, you go inside the old vintage locked away north wing. But every time I visited, I always made sure I made time to talk to the security guard and the janitors here, and everybody here was super friendly. Every single person I spoke to in this mall was really friendly and welcoming. I mean, this mall was just always a positive place to be in, even despite all the vacancies. You could tell that the community really cared about this mall all the way up until the end. And when the inevitable closure of this mall was announced, it really broke my heart. Especially when they walled off the former Macy's and Sears mall entrances. I knew the end was near, but even JCPenney's closure alone was a sign that the mall wasn't going to make it through 2024. But nevertheless, I'm glad I was able to visit this mall the amount of times I did. This mall truly was one of a kind. Crown American really did something special at every one of their malls that architecturally just can't be matched by any other mall developer. And I wish I could have made it to that final goodbye event that they were hosting on the 4th of May. I was just busy on that day, there really wasn't much I could do about it, but I really wish I had some spare time on the 4th that I could have made it up here one last time. Because when I showed up to the mall on May 31st, the doors were already locked for good, and that sucked because I didn't know that they were going to close the mall a few days early, and I didn't realize that my last visit to this mall was going to be the visit I took in mid-April. But nevertheless, I'm grateful for the amount of times that I was able to visit this mall. And completely unrelated, but I'm pretty sure this Maurice's is actually where the north wing of the mall used to connect to the main concourse here. But anyways, back on topic. I'm grateful for all of the visits I took to this mall, and even though it sucks that it's no longer with us, I'm still grateful I made all of the memories I did here. Even though this wasn't my childhood mall, this is a mall that really did have a special place in my heart, and I'm grateful I was able to visit this mall at all. But all good things must come to an end, and the Shenango Valley Mall is no exception. Even though the mall is no longer with us, the future is bright for this property thanks to the redevelopment. And to the city of Hermitage, I wish y'all the best of luck with the redevelopment of this property. I know it hasn't started yet, and as of the recording of this voiceover, the property still sits abandoned, but I know the redevelopment is coming soon, so whatever happens, I do wish the city the best of luck with the redevelopment. But with that being said, rest in peace, Shenango Valley Mall. It's another Crown American that was taken away from us way too soon. The amount of malls we've lost in 2024 is pretty scary, and even over the past 3 years alone. So I'm very grateful and thankful that I have the opportunity to visit all of these malls and document them while they're still open. So thanks for everything, Shenango Valley. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all for watching my final video tour of the Shenango Valley Mall in Hermitage, Pennsylvania. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like as it greatly helps support the channel. And whilst you're at it, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that more mall videos like this can come to more viewers like you. I have a lot more mall content coming to the channel very soon with a lot more stuff you're not going to want to miss, so be sure to subscribe for more malls to come your way. I also have an Instagram linked in the description with sneak peeks of future videos coming to the channel. And to wrap things up, let's do one last drone montage to say goodbye to the mall. Alright, that's where I'm going to leave it, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, stay awesome, and have a blessed day. I will see you all in my next video.